My main tenet as an artist or just even as a human is satisfaction brings the death of inspiration. So I try not to be satisfied. I try not to dwell on shit for too long and mantle it and look at it and say, "Ooh, that's pretty. Look what I did," because I feel like that stifles the process of what I'm trying to do, which is create on a daily basis. I don't spend much time looking at my past accomplishments, but there are plenty of songs that give me satisfaction in the sense that I can look back at it and at any time, no matter what time, if I listen to it a million times or if I haven't heard it in years or whatever, that I still get that same feel. It still transports me to that world where I feel like I created. I don't like the word perfect, but I created a sufficient reoccurring bridge to bring me back to that world. And one of my favorites, probably both of my favorites of all time that I've done are on the Krakatoa album. One is a joint called Middle of Nowhere, which I feel like lyrically is as close to what I feel on a daily basis and what goes on in my mind and how I articulate things. It's pretty close to what I do, right? That's pretty close. I feel the poetical value of it and just some of the profundity in it and some of the philosophies in it are really poignant, and I feel like I really was focused on that one. I focused on the feeling. It's not disjointed in any way. It's one coherent thought, but there's so many offshoots and different concepts to it. So I really like that one. That's one that I go back to ever so often just to get that inspiration to remind myself that I can hit that level, right? But also on that album, there's a joint called What a Killer, which is about the American Indian Holocaust when the Protestants landed over here and raped and pillaged all the indigenous people that lived here. That was the hardest thing that I ever had to write because I did so much research and had to come to grips with so many disgusting and horrific things that this country and the Protestants and the Anglo-Saxons and whatnot did to the indigenous people that opened up their arms to them and tried to help them survive when they landed here. So that's one that I go back to often. We did a video for it, and that's one that I go back and I listen to that I feel like I did exactly what I set out to do. I wanted that to upset people's stomachs, and I wanted that to give people a discontented feeling with their reality and the land that we're standing on, this land of the brave that we call the land of the brave, which is actually the land of the braves, of the Indian braves that we're standing on, that whose blood fertilized this land and whose bodies we're standing on top of and building a nation that forgets them. So I can go back to those two songs and really feel happy about what I did, you know. Most rappers, I mean, I don't know if they are, some rappers are different or whatever. Most real writers who are worth anything, as soon as they create something, they'll like it for a couple minutes, maybe a couple days, and they'll be like, all right, I hate it, on to the next thing, you know? Because that's how you stay motivated, man. You're never satisfied. My inspiration will never savor that flavor of satisfaction. But those two I could go back to and be like, yeah, you got it on these. You did all right.